Yeah. Back in business. Baltimore. We back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We ain't never playing with them. Stay serious. Stay ready so we ain't gotta get ready. Got a lot of thank yous. A lot of thank yous to pass out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all. We ain't gonna play with you. Knock it out the park. Why play? We came to slay. Y'all know what it is. Back in the building. Back in the building. Man, getting back to the business. Go ahead, take these off. Everybody know what it is. So let's get to it, man. Stop playing and let's get to it. Had a good week this week. Had better, more in-depth conversations. And I actually seen some numbers, y'all. I think I got the crack in that algorithm, y'all. Y'all don't feel me, though. I had a video, won't nothing but a repost, man. That thing's still climbing right now. Usually, a good video for me, she might start out 100. This joint started out at a bando. I was in the bando. Y'all don't feel me, though. I was in the bando. Then that joint just kept climbing. Every time I looked at it, it was up 100. 100. I think she 25. She passed 25 right now, y'all. That wave like this. I'm about to hang 10 on y'all. Yeah. But good week this week. I wanted to talk about one thing though, man. Boy, Rich Homie Quan passed away way too early. Way too early. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Uh it ain't right. It ain't right. It ain't right. Let me pull this out because I might be getting a little bit of feedback. It ain't right. Rich Homie Quan way too young to be going, man. Some hard drugs out there, man. They got some hard drugs for you out there. You know, can't say I'm innocent. I done did my fair share of them. But man, they will get you out of here before it's your time to go. And is this a shame? Because I feel like he had talent. He might have got, ejected from his place a little too soon. But man, I think he still had a lot of untapped potential. And I think he might have had some new music he was trying to get on deck. And now he out of here, man. Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. I used to love that man music. Man. I thought he was dope. I think he started a new era coming out of the A, where a lot of people, it might have been a melting pot of different styles and different individuals coming together, but he was the face of that new sound for a long time. And I appreciate it. I give that man his flowers. Every time I seen him, I was like, man, I want him to drop. I want that man to drop. But he didn't. So, I don't know what that was. But rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan, man. I don't know what the copyright thing. I wish I could play his songs all through this. I wish I could play his songs all through this little situation here in this podcast. But yeah, rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan, man. Had that walkthrough. Had a whole bunch of stuff. Feel some type of way. Ooh, some type of way. When I heard his man passed away, I felt some type of way. Some type of way. But yeah, shout outs to Rich Homie Quan and his loved ones, man. You know, more power to him. You know, sometimes when people go, they out of here, man. You know, you don't get to tell them everything you wanted to tell them. You ain't get to hug them that last. Ah, man. It hurt because, you know, thinking about some of his situations, like put me in the mind of some of my loved ones that's no longer here today. And I was scrolling through Facebook today, and somebody had something up there. I think it was Pep. That's Jamon Green and Pastor D'Amica Kelly. That's Kiel right there. If y'all from the news, y'all know who them people is. They legends. I played football with Pep, and got the Zoe podcast that's ran by Dr. D'Amica Kelly. That's Kiel. And they was talking about people that we grew up with that's no longer here. And P-Head name come up. And you know, P-Head from the Ville. He from Walker Village. That's where I'm from. And you know, me and him weren't the best of friends, but we was friends nonetheless. And you know, I was actually incarcerated when I heard, you know, he died. He was murdered. And Kiel brought his name up, man. You know, I got his name on my arm right there, tattooed. P-Head. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's the second name up there. It might not come out clear, but it say rest in peace. The first name up there is P-Head. Like I said, Abdullah McClain, rest in peace. He was a friend of mine. He was a boys club legend, one of the best quarterbacks in my age group. Smooth on the basketball court. You know, one of the coolest. Everybody liked P-Head. You know, so when I heard of his passing, man, it kind of hit me. I was in jail. I was young. And I had just seen him. Because, you know, I was in jail. I knew I was tucked away for the long haul. And P-Head, he was just passing through. I don't know if I was working as a trustee or I was just floating around. But I happened to go to the little side pocket, in Newport News jail. If you ever been in Newport News jail, anybody that know the side pocket is like a single cell. Every floor got about 3 to 4 single cells in there. You know, that's either you coming and going, or you too young to be on the floor, or you got some sort of separation where you can't be with another inmate and they don't want no friction. They just put you in a side pocket. You tucked away, you get your own phone, you get your own TV. He was in a side pocket. And I know it wasn't a separation order or nothing like that. He probably was, I don't know why he was in a side pocket, but I seen him, I'm like, what up here? What you doing in here? He was like, nah, I'm on my way out the door. And I was just telling him, tell everybody I said, what's up, man? Tell everybody I'm holding my head, man. I'm good. And you know, that was the last time I seen or talked to P-Head. Like I said, I've been over his house, Miss Shirley house. He been over Miss Lisa house. And like, we weren't the best of friends, but, you know, it won't, every day I see him. You know, that's that Walker Village love. And, you know, just to think, you know, like Kiel was talking about him in his podcast, he brought that name up, and it just brought a lot of emotion back to the table. Because like I said, man, he was a good guy. Everybody loved P-Head. You know, if anybody remember him, you know, get in the comments. I don't see nobody there's concurrent. It's a 0. All these people I come across all day now, y'all act like y'all be watching, but I can see the numbers. As I'm broadcasting live, I can actually see the numbers on the screen. It say I got 1 view. So y'all tap in, man. Y'all act funny, man. Y'all tap in. But if y'all don't tap in, we're going to keep it going in one time. You know, you double back, show me some love. It don't cost nothing to clap for me, y'all. Show me some love. But yeah, rest in peace to P-Head. Rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan. You know, people out here passing away. You know, we live our life like we ain't gonna never die, but just like that, you could be out of here. You could be out of here. And you know, that's why you gotta live your life. Live your life. You know, don't be reckless out here. Live your life. And, you know, just cherish the moments you do have. Cherish your loved ones because they can be not here with you to celebrate this next day. It's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to carry on. And, you know, sometimes you feel that hurt when your loved ones ain't no longer here, but you here to carry on their name. Like, I think P-Head died in 95, if I'm not mistaken. Here it is, almost 30 years later, 29 years later, it's 2024. That man died in 95, and we still keeping him alive in spirit by mentioning his name. You know, I wish I had a few pictures of him so I could post them on my thumbnails or something. Maybe I get around. Maybe somebody will send me something after I you know, get finished with this. But yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about in passing is the Nipsey Hussle situation. Nip, no longer with us. He was murdered in the most salacious way in front of everybody. You know, it's uncommon to see somebody get done like that and it be presented for the world in that fashion. Because before that, you were seeing people or hearing about people getting killed, but you ain't have it live in your face. And that was a murder that took place in the most heinous fashion for the world to see. So I think it touched the world a little bit different. But from every state, in most cities, you do have these pockets of poverty where people just, they do some of the wildest things. You know, they make you do a double take because people go in, you know, they real desperate. It seem like they don't be having nothing to lose, so they do a lot of things that you wouldn't expect. And I don't think nobody going to death's door expecting to be their day to die. Nah. You know, because if you knew that was your moment, I'm quite sure you would do something to alter that, to change that up, knowing that your number's finna be called, you know. So I'm quite sure he ain't know what was going on. But what I can deduce, like I did my own inside investigation, you know, I looked at all the stuff online. I soaked in all the stories. I did my little bit of research. And I must say, he did everything that'll get you killed in some of these bad neighborhoods. He did that. For one, he was having money. He was having money. And he was starting to, you know, obtain things. He was starting to have some success. And a lot of times, if you're in a situation where you having success and everybody else ain't having it, that creates a jealousy because everybody wants something, not just you. Everybody. And that's why I was saying, like, everybody gotta eat. Everybody eats. Everybody eats because if you the only one eating and you ain't breaking bread, like, what else is there to do but try to go, you know, take yours. You got the only plate in town. If you got the only plate in town, everybody hungry. You think people just gonna salute you? You eating good, big dog? Yeah, eat. Nah, cause you the only one eating. So when people see your plate full, they gonna try to bypass you and finesse you. And it's get to the point to where, you know, they gonna start resenting you. They gonna start resenting you. And you know, a lot of people, they wanna, you know, give to the hood and show love to the hood, but like, how you showing love to the hood and you ain't really putting nothing in their pocket? You know, people ain't trying to hear how to get on. People ain't trying to hear the recipe to success, because sometimes they in dire straits and they just need a meal. They need a meal. And if you're going to be that close to, you know, to the dangerous elements out there, you know, you don't go in no dog pit. You got a whole kennel full of pit bulls. You walking with steaks all over you, man. You asking to get bit. They ribs touching. And that's why I say, you know, I think he put himself in a bad situation because he was having, and he was showing prosperity to people. And he might have been in a position where he was showing love, but was he showing everybody love? Because just because you breaking bread with these 3 dudes over here, those 3 over there looking at you like he ain't give us nothing yet. F him. I wish he would. I dog him out. I do him real dirty out here. You know how I know? Because I've been in those same shoes. I've been in those same shoes, and I ain't no hater, but when you desperate and you poor, everything looks like food. Everything. You remember them cartoons back in the day? People get hungry, and they best friend start looking like a turkey leg. Man, I done been there. So I know if me, and I'm a reasonable person. If I see everybody as food, I know the next man see everybody as food. Like, that's your human instinct to survive, to eat. So if you sitting here watching somebody having their way out here and you not having your way, it's like second nature. You don't even mean to do it. And you wouldn't do it if you was in a better position. But you aren't in a better position. And I don't think people get that enough credit. That just because they remove from poverty and they ain't thinking like that, that don't mean the next person thinking like you because they ain't got the same hand you got. If they did, they probably would think like you, but they don't. They don't. This man catching rides from somebody else. Man, he ain't having nothing out there. And just your mere, like, the king don't walk among peasants. You can't. Somebody gonna try their hand. And if you do find yourself in that position, you got the royal guard with you. He ain't had a royal guard with him, man. That man ain't had a royal guard with him. You know who he had with him? Cowboy. He had Cowboy with him. Cowboy was eating lunch on the lunch break. Of all times to be on the lunch break, man, you on the lunch break when it's going down. Coming, you looking out the door, scared. Oh, man. But that's what happens. You know, you can be as tough as you want to be, man. But you got to be cognizant, you know. You got to be cognizant of what's going on around you, putting yourself in the most dangerous situations. Like, I don't know what them people talking about. From what everybody's saying, they, you know, allegations of him, I can't deal with you. That's not even the conversation you have with somebody. Like, what you not in a position to really be having those discussions with nobody. Like, first of all, like, you having that, man, your wife, Laura, your girl, your baby mama, Laura London, man, somebody like City Cuz, he'll have a hard time getting through to me because I wouldn't make myself that accessible to somebody like him. I'm in the hood and I try to make myself not so accessible to some people. Like, you almost got to jump through a hula hoop. You know, if I see you coming, if I can, I'm trying to pull off. Not that I'm scared of you, but what we talking about? What we chopping up about? What we gonna talk about? Your last drug deal? Your last robbery? Your last, you know, stepping on somebody? Nah. I ain't trying to have them conversations. Because ain't no bag in them conversations. When I want to have them conversations with you, I'm going to be pulling up on you. Talk about I need you to take care of something for me. Other than that, what we talking about? Now, I don't care if you snitch. What I care about that for? I ain't even into that type of stuff no more for me to be having a discussion with you about who you told on. And if we having a discussion about me, we ain't having that discussion either. Like, how'd you eat, man? That's your store, man. That's your store, man. You supposed to have some sort of employees right there, man. And I know it can happen, but man, what kind of discussions is we having? You know, I'm limiting certain discussions right now and I ain't got nothing. So I can imagine if I'm out here in a Wraith, I'm owning a business or something, man. Man, you're gonna have to put make an appointment, because I know I got a lot of responsibility. I know I got a lot of people to take care of. I know a lot of people depend on me. I know how shiesty and shifty people can get. Why? Because I'm one. I've been one. I've been sneaky. I've been conniving. So I'm reasonable. I know there's people out there less reasonable than me. So I try to make sure I'm not in that position. You know, if I'm in a position where I'm repping something, I know I'm gonna have something for them. And that ain't nothing about, you know, checking in and none of that. I'm gonna have something for them. Why? Because that's what I'm repping. I'm repping that. So, you know, it might be some disagreements, but they gonna eat. They gonna eat because I'm coming up under that banner and they gonna eat. The key people gonna eat. You know, the ones that's making all the plays, the ones that's, you know, holding the most weight in this situation, they gonna eat. I'ma feed them. And that's just how it's supposed to go, man. You know, you don't got no loose strays running around trying to take a shot. They taking a shot at, they trying to knock the crown off your head. Like, you know, you out in public beefing with, you know, one of the big honchos, you and your brother. Like, I get it, but if y'all moving like that, why is y'all in that same neighborhood, man? Like, I get you feel like it's your spot. I get you feel like it's your neighborhood, but oh man, that's the recipe. I'm from Newport News, Virginia. They call it bad news. You get clipped out here for moving how he was moving. You can get clipped right out here for that. So, you know, that's neither here nor there, though, man. Still rest in peace to him. I wish we wasn't living in times where, you know, it was that sketchy, or people would do that much, or is this much poverty and desperation out here to take, you know, a bright star. Take somebody who got a light, you know, that could have been more beneficial. But to that person who clipped them, he wasn't beneficial. And things like that do happen. That's why sometimes you gotta, you know, stand down. You gotta stand down sometimes. Stand down. Stand down or man down. But some people, they, you know, they tough. They tough. They like to, you know, say, you know, you gotta, I die for my respect. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that feel that way. A lot of them, you know, they ain't here to talk about their respect no more. So it's like, you know, how much respect is we really talk about if you in the grave? Because people don't need, you know, P-Head been dead for almost 30 years. And we don't talk about him all the time. Dr. Kelly just happened to bring that man's name up, and I just happened to think about him. There ain't no I think about P-Head every day, so how much respect do you really get when you 6 feet under? Probably that much right there. 0. You know, people pay homage, of course, but you ain't here no more. You ain't here no more. And I've been in situations like that, and luckily I was able to assess what was going on around me and not step on that landmine and explode. I've been in situations where People had me out of pocket. Well, I was out of pocket. And, I escaped with my life. I escaped with my life. I've been in situations with a gun, been out, been cocked, been pointed at my face, and I escaped with my life. And that's blessings to the one up above. That's blessings. Because I could have been gone. I don't know if y'all can see this right here on this side. Y'all see that? That ain't no pot. The barber ain't do that. It's a gunshot, y'all. That's a gunshot. So, I'm speaking from experience, man. That could have been a whole different story right there. You could have been talking about me every blue moon. Instead of me here bringing you this insight, talking to you, I could have been right there. Bring me a cup of flowers every year. But nah, God got different plans for me. So I'm here speaking. And not saying that Nipsey wild out, but just saying in some of these desperate cities that's stricken with poverty, stricken with a lack mentality, you can find yourself in a pickle. That's what they mean when they say I'm in the pickle. Cause you in the pickle. You sitting here trying to represent that banner. You sitting here trying to hold your city down and show them another look. And you still caught up in the activities and the politics. So you got one foot in and one foot out. Even though you think you don't got one foot in and one foot out, you still doing the hokey pokey. And it's like you think you not involved, but you still rubbing shoulders and you still moving around and you still right in the heart of it. And it's like at some point you got to step back and be like, oh man, this might not be a good move for me. Oh man, I could make a better choice. I could be the tough one and I could let my pride get the best of me. Or I could disappear. I could perform this magic trick and get out of here. And get out of here. Like, I could come back on occasions for inspiration. I could be philanthropic and break bread and show love and try to pull people out as I can. But do I gotta be right in the pig pen with them? No. Do I gotta be in the mud with them? No. So, that's just my take, man. I might be dead wrong. I wish some people come in here and give me their insight, but I might be dead wrong. But this is just my observation, man. And I ain't no person that abandon people, but it's not my calling to be right here. My calling to be over there so I can finish my work. And let me get some shout outs, man. Let me get some shout outs. Because, matter of fact, I'm going to come back to the shout outs. I can just remember, I go to this one situation right here. I used to mess around with the tree a little bit, sell a tree. And it's this young guy. He called me over. I'm in Dickinson Court. Dickinson Court is no longer a part of Newport News. They tore it down. I'm in Dickinson Court. I come through the front door. And he trying to get an eighth of weed. It's about $25 worth of weed. And I'm like, let me get the 25. I'm already charging the best price. I'm giving you wholesale. So he's sitting there arguing with me about $25. And I'm sitting there like, man, just give me the $25. So I'm finna walk out of there and just, leave it on red, basically. He's sitting there trying to argue with me, trying to slow me down, but the light was out in the living room. So as I'm walking, I see movement. It's like 4 people in the living room. And they look like they still tripping off of whatever they was on. They ain't get themselves together. But I said, whatever this is, it ain't a good look. So I sized up. I could have been prideful. I could have been like, man, whatever. You know, Big Sam in the building. Let's see how this fall. Let's see where the chips fall, where they may. But I thought, what good is it for me to go through whatever in this room and find out that don't look like a good look? So without letting them know I seen them, I back into the kitchen. He's still in there hollering about some $25 too much. I say, you know what, man? I mess with you. Let me get 15. I'm gonna cut you a big deal. Let me get 15. He smiled. He was so happy. He gave me 15. Time he looked up, I was out that back door. I came in the front, and I was out the back door. And I bounced. I could have been prideful, could have been arguing, standing on my 10 about what it was, but I didn't. And I think it saved my life. Because some of those guys in there, at least 2 of them, they in the feds down on the RICO case. 2 of them I know got multiple homicides under their jacket. So that might have been my night if I would have stayed there going back and forth with him, letting my pride get the best of me and not analyzing the situation and identifying the trap that was about to unfold in front of me. Man, you might have been reading about me. You know, you might have been putting some flowers on me. But that's just another situation. They ain't got nothing to do with those 2. But it was just a situation where I identified and I was able to back out before, you know, the trap was all the way set in on me, and it might have cost me more than I was willing to pay. So yeah, like I said, to get off that, I want to transition and give some of these shout outs. I want to shout out Devin. I forgot his podcast or his YouTube page, but I think it's the Island Boy, where he do cooking. He cook up the Jamaican foods and stuff, the West Indian food. And I had a conversation with him slight one today. He was at work, so we couldn't really chop it up how we wanted to. But I'm going to try to do an interview with him tomorrow so he can let y'all know what his platform is. I want to give a shout out to Derek Whitley, Wood Dog, Freddie. Go by a lot of names out here. You know, he's a living legend, Newport News living legend out here. If you don't know, ask somebody about him. Might be your mama's crush. Yeah, but he shared some insight with me. We got to kind of build on our plans a little bit. Yeah, that's what's his name? What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. I think it's Reliance. It's Reliance on Instagram. It's Derek Whitley on Facebook. Y'all go and check him out, see what he got going on. That was Island Boy Chef, I think. Y'all check him, see what he got going on. And Dr. D'Amica Kelly, that's Kiel. Y'all check him out. Big shout out to him. He got the Zoe podcast. I think he got a thing. You can check him out on YouTube. You can check him out on Facebook. Excellent podcast, inspirational stuff. I look forward to doing something with him. That's the Zoe podcast, Zoe Life, I think, podcast. I'll get it right next time. Who else I want to shout out? I want to shout out the people down in Centura, y'all. Emily. I'm going to start right there with Emily. She showed me support down there. She gave me a pair of gloves. I'm going to give your gloves back. But yeah, she gave me a pair of gloves. My hands was about to freeze off going in the freezer. I left my gloves at somebody else's store. But she support, you know, she subscribed to the page. She watched the content. I thought she was playing, so I asked her. She was like, did you do something with your niece, Tiara? I like, yeah. So, you know, it is gaining some traction. You know, we ain't looking for the world. We looking for our small piece of the pie. You know, I ain't trying to make no money off this. I'm just trying to create this content and connect with the people that can connect with me. That's my goal, to share some of this stuff, this pain that I went through, and I want to hear some of y'all pain so we can, you know, identify with each other and come to the terms that we all got a story to tell. We all got a testimony. And sometimes I think we feel a little bit isolated out here. When you're going through things, you can't see nobody else going through things. All you can do is be like, I'm hurting. But sometimes you recognizing that everybody else got some pain too, it'll make you feel like maybe there's something I could get through, and it'll get you comfortable talking about some of this stuff that you keep bottled in. You keep it bottled in, it's gonna turn to cancer then. Y'all hear me? I want to give a shout out to Terrell, Terrell Scott. Talk to him. He got a little platform on TikTok. I think we're gonna set something up where we doing the interviews on the live. Yeah. And anybody else out there, of course, I want to give a shout out to Mario Bunton. That's Button Boulevard. He got his own thing. I'm gonna give a shout out to Kareem. Kareem got his own exotic, what is the Pitbull Bully, exotic bullies. Yeah, give a shout out to everybody that I'm coming across, and we having these discussions, and we trying to add on, and we trying to take this to a new level. I appreciate y'all, and what I'm about to do now is shut it down, cause I done ran my mouth too much, y'all, and I don't see nobody watching. So I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna watch it myself, chop it up, put it through the mix. But yeah, y'all know what it is, man. We ain't got time to be playing with y'all. Let me go and get out of here. But yeah, sometimes, man, you could be in a situation where you feel like you got the right to do this and you got the right to do that. You do. But sometimes you could bump heads with people that's destructive, that's desperate, and your visions really won't matter at that moment. And you got to acknowledge that. Especially when you're in these bad neighborhoods, anywhere actually, but especially in these bad neighborhoods, and you shoulder to shoulder with some people that might not be as fortunate as you. But yeah, let me see if I can get this thing going again. Y'all. Put this in the mic 1. Is this mic 1? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, that ain't mic 1. That's mic 1. Get this back on my head, y'all. And let me take us out of here. Good show today. We're trying to get y'all consistency.